Hi, Bridget. I am so excited to see you, and we have some really exciting news to share with the people who've been following our podcast for a while.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We're rebranding from 2030 Vision AI and the Future of Law to AI and the Future of Law. And I'm very excited for year two of this journey with you, Jen.
Same here. And we should reassure people who've been following us for a while that nothing major is changing. The hosts will stay the same, you and me, Bridget and Jen. We will have the same cadence. We will drop a new episode every other week and we'll have the same thoughtful content. But we have exciting new news that I will ask Bridget to share with everybody.
Yeah, we're thrilled to let you all know that the podcast is now being presented by the PLI in collaboration with the American Arbitration Association. So we have a new partner, and the PLI will make sure that our content is distributed widely to legal audiences.
That's right. So, we are excited to partner with the leader in professional education for lawyers and legal professionals in the Practising Law Institute. We also have some minor changes like new visual branding and cover art. And we're excited to expand our formats to introduce some expert interviews. So, up until now, our conversations have been amazing. But they have just been the two of us really riffing on our thoughts and opinions about the changing landscape of AI in the law, and we thought it would be great to expand and hear from some new voices and leaders in AI, legal education, and practice. So we'll continue focusing on how AI is reshaping the legal profession and how our listeners can engage meaningfully with that change. But we'll also be strengthening our content by bringing in new perspectives and expertise. So, what should our listeners be doing, Bridget, as we move into this new era of our podcast?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this new format, even though, as you know, because it often happens, I could talk to you all day alone about AI. It'll be really fun to bring in some new voices and do some interviews with some of the leaders in AI in the legal profession. But for now, just follow and subscribe. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Share the show with colleagues or friends. And reach out to us with any topics or questions that you have, and we will cover them. We really look forward to hearing from our listeners, and we like to deliver content that you're interested in.
Absolutely. And if you're new to the podcast, you will learn that one of the segments is what we call AI Aha, something that we actually have to attribute to Megan McMillan at Cleary, who named that segment for us. But our AI Ahas are things that we have used AI to do in our lives that we find particularly interesting. And we think it's helpful to share uses with other people so that we can all learn together. So, in this tiny little mini episode, we wanted to share one of those with people who might be new or those who've followed us for a while. So, Bridget, what's your AI aha since we last spoke?
My bonus AI aha is not work related at all. I think you're sensing a pattern with me. I kind of go back and forth between nature use cases and work use cases. But my brother and his family were visiting last week. He has little kids, and one of his kids pointed out a quote spider on the outdoor couch, and it was a tick. And we had a plastic bag, so we put the tick in the plastic bag, and I took a photo of it through the plastic bag and asked ChatGPT to identify the tick and tell me anything I needed to know about whether it was the kind of tick we should worry about with respect to Lyme disease. Ticks are everywhere this summer. I don't know if that's true in Pennsylvania, but it's true in Michigan. And in fact, it was a deer tick, and it was exactly the kind of tick that you had to worry about with Lyme disease. And I don't know if everybody else is carrying plastic bags for collecting ticks, but I highly recommend having your ChatGPT on you and a few little sandwich bags in your pocket if you're in the woods, because there's a lot to learn with these easy tools. So,
Oh my goodness, that's really scary. Mine is not as terrifying. That's really scary. I'm glad that you caught it. And I'm not really sure what's happening with ticks in Pennsylvania, but now I want to find out. So mine is also not work related. This year, I've been working to up my mileage. I used to train for and run long distance runs and marathons and things, and I'm trying to get back into that. But I needed a little bit more motivation last week. I wanted to go for a run, but I didn't feel like it. And I was I love ChatGPT voice mode and playing around with it, and that sort of mimics, like, Her, if you've seen the movie with Joaquin Phoenix, and so I turned on voice mode and said, like, "I really don't feel like going for a run today. Can you use your powers of persuasion," which I've read about, "to convince me to go for a run?" And it worked. Like, I ended up going like, long story short, I went for a 7-mile run when I really had intended to go for a 3-mile run, and in the like, I was really leaning toward going for no run at all, but it just came out and I had it pulled up here. It's like, "Let's be honest, the couch is whispering sweet nothings. Your brain is arguing that productivity could just as easily look like reading an article about performance while eating a muffin. But here's the thing, you never regret a run." And then it goes into this whole thing, like, "You're not running for today, you're running for future you, and you don't need to run far, just put on your sneakers and go outside and run for 1 song. And if you don't feel like running anymore, like, come back in." And I kept telling it, like, "Say more, say more things like that." And it kept giving me more and more. So it did get me out there for a run. I don't know whether that would work long term, but I really enjoyed having somebody there to just, like, tell me to go out and go for a run. So that was my AI aha, and
That
it
is
worked.
very cool. Did you keep talking to it throughout the run, or did you turn music on, like, at a certain point once it got you up and running?
Oh, no. No, I was listening to podcasts, probably AI podcasts once I got out the door, and that's probably why I ran so long. But I did go back the next day and asked it to encourage me again, and it was interesting because, like, upping your mileage too quickly is a recipe for getting hurt, which is why I had to decrease my mileage in the first place, and it said to me sort of like, "You might wanna think about not going for a full run
Oh,
today
wow.
since you did so much yesterday." And then it encouraged me to, like, do some cross training, which I did. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, it didn't discourage me. It was like, "If you wanna go for a run, go for it, but, like, you also might wanna take a rest today or build in some strength training." It's like,
It's good advice.
very good advice. Well, this was a lovely mini episode with you, Bridget, and I'm so excited about the next chapter of AI and the future of law.
Me too.